On my healing journey, I get random offers at parties from other women to come get with me and my husband. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Raphael and I'm here to review Season 5, Episode 16 and the finale to the Real Housewives who had to suck their way to the top of Salt Lake City. So we start the finale off Salt Lake City style with everybody sitting down to film their confessionals. And of course, it wouldn't be a finale without one of these long-winded monologues playing in the background. I'm thinking, is it Dorit? Did Dorit transfer from Beverly Hills to Salt Lake City to talk? Or like, who is this? Unfortunately, it was Heather. Heather shows up and, Heather, I get it that, from the confessionals, we only typically see from the waist up. Unfortunately, we saw the entire outfit and what was that? Did anybody have a good look at her outfit? I mean, she was wearing this somewhat cute pink top from the waist up, and then from the waist down, it was camouflage leggings. I'm like, where are you going to confess? And what kind of outfit is this? Heather, like everybody else's outfit was complete from head to toe, even though we might not see the entire outfit. But look, what's the quote? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Like, what was that? She don't love herself. And who died and made Heather the valedictorian of Salt Lake City to be giving these monologues every other season? Like, can we hear Meredith? Yeah, could you imagine starting off a dramatic finale with Meredith? Like, yes, we were all friends at one point. I guess Heather's the only one who could really bring out that dramatic voice, right? And then we see 24 hours earlier, and then we rewind to the very beginning of the day, and I'm like, ooh, okay, Bad Girls Club editing. I'm like, what is this? We see Meredith, she's at the table, she's waking up, she has this Louis Vuitton face mask, one eyeball is being covered for some reason. I'm like, Meredith, what were you drinking last night? So then Heather, she comes out and she's like, Meredith, what's going on with your eyeball? And Meredith, she's like, well, Heather, I kind of injured my corneas. My eyeball is kind of, it kind of hurts a little bit right now. So I decided to cover it up right now with my Louis Vuitton mask. You know what I'm saying? And Heather's like, oh, okay, this bitch must have been drinking last night. Oh, okay, well, I didn't appreciate you yelling at me last night because Meredith went off on everybody last night because her privacy was being invaded. So then Meredith was just like, well, I didn't appreciate my, my privacy, the way everybody was coming at me like that. Heather, I don't like to yell like that. I really don't. So then Heather, she was just like, I don't know what she heard Meredith say, but Heather was just like, well, I appreciate your apology. And I'm like, I must have missed that. You see, Heather, this is what gets you in toxic relationships. You think that people say certain things when she never said, I'm sorry to begin with. Then we see everyone else waking up to these text alerts like, ting, ting, ting. What does Britney get? Clown music playing in the background for her. I'm like, why did they do Britney dirty like that? Like, can we not be nice to Britney for one episode? Nah, so they all get together downstairs before Lisa. Lisa comes down and she's like, hi, everybody. Hi, baby. And in the 5 seasons of watching Lisa on the show, I have never seen her so happy like this. Why? Because everybody has on these dry, flat wigs, very similar to Lisa's hairstyle, in her honor. And I'm like, all of you already have an issue of her being a narcissist and being like this, person full of herself. And now, way to, big her head up even more, right? So they're having a Lisa brunch in her honor, and they all start quoting her. They're like, hi, baby gorgeous. Hi, I love that. I love that. Can I touch? Hi, Henry. Hi, John. I'm innocent. I'm never wrong. Everybody else is wrong. I'm perfect. And I'm like, okay, we get it. But Lisa, she was so excited, and I should do my part too. Hi, baby gorgeous. I love Taco Bell and I love Diet Coke. And I love myself. I love myself enough for the both of us. I also love Vita Tequila. I love Vita. I love tequila. Does anybody want a shot? A Vita Tequila shot? I love Vita. I love that. Can I touch? It's never me. I'm never the problem. It's always everybody else's issue. And they're always coming at me. I'm the queen of Salt Lake City. So I just don't understand what the problem is. But, whatever. Can I get a Kit Kat, please? A large one. Thank you. And a Diet Coke. Thank you, baby gorgeous. So they sit down at the lunch table with their matching wigs, and clearly the waiter was unamused with their shenanigans because he's just looking at them like, I'm not even a fan of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I only watch the Real Housewives of Orange County, so this isn't even fun to me. Like, where's Tamara Judge and Vicky? Like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? Like, this isn't fun. Like, and they better not even start with the whole, oh, we're not tipping 8 different ways because we're just one person today, technically. Like, I don't want to hear that BS. Can I get you something to drink? Like, ooh, he was pissed, understandably, because then they all started saying, oh, do you love this on the menu, baby gorgeous? I love that. I love that. I love that. Here goes Meredith in the background. I love that. I love that. It was cute, right? until it wasn't, because they start mimicking Lisa one by one. Bronwyn, she's making fun of her, like, hee hee ha ha. Lisa, she takes it in, as a joke. And then we get to Whitney, and then Whitney, this is where it becomes borderline, I'm playing, but I'm also taking a dig at you. She starts mimicking Lisa like, oh yeah, I'm Lisa Barlow. I love Taco Bell, and I love myself. I'm gonna walk away now. So as she's walking away, we see a little tag hanging off her shirt, right? She knew what she was doing, trying to get a rise out of Lisa on purpose. Lisa, she fell for it, and she was just like, wait a minute, baby gorgeous. What is that tag hanging off your shirt? That's when Whitney was just like, aha, ching ching. I got a good scene with Lisa. She fell right for my trap. And Lisa, you fell right into it, because next thing you know, she starts spiraling out of control. Whitney, she's like, oh yeah, that's because it represents you, because you return everything that you buy. Oh, Whitney. And then this is where things just went downhill from here, because Lisa starts losing it. And Lisa, this is one of Lisa's many spirals this whole entire episode, because Lisa, she was like, well, you know what? No, now that's not funny anymore. That's not Lisa Barlow. That's not me. I don't do that type of stuff, Whitney. So like, what are you doing? So then Whitney, she sits back down and she starts explaining her case to her. She's like, well, Lisa Barlow, you have been a horrible friend. You don't really care about nobody's feelings or anybody's healing journey or anything like that. You're just a fake bitch. And I'm like, whoa. I thought this whole brunch was for, in honor of Lisa. What is going on here? But again, she knew what she was doing by poking Lisa. Lisa starts going off, and Lisa's like, first of all, Whitney, you're the one that's been a horrible friend to me and John, my husband John, and I love John. I love my marriage, and I value my marriage, and I love Vida Tequila. But you know what? You have been saying horrible rumors about me and my husband John. Whitney was just like, you do the same thing about me and my husband Justin as well. Like, you say the same rumors about me and everybody else. You're a terrible person, Lisa. And I'm like, I just don't understand, like Whitney has a thing against Lisa, but they both clearly hate each other, right? So as they continue going back and forth, we see everybody else in the background. They're tuning in like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? We see this dad with his daughter. He's covering up her ears like, it's okay, honey. It's just two crazy bitches fighting on a TV show. It's fine. Daddy's here. But notice how he never walked away responsibly as he should, right? Like, he should have took his daughter away. Like, you know what? There's too much chaos going on. Let's just go to a different restaurant or whatever. No, he wanted to stay and watch the mess, as I would too. So then Lisa, this is where she takes it personal, because as they continue, Lisa was just like, you know what, Whitney? You know what I'm going to do, since you keep talking about me and my marriage and making up these rumors? I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to sue your ass for that new house that you just bought. You and Justin, I'm going to take your house and then make it into a Vida Tequila factory. I'm like, what is going on? What's happening? Now she's threatening Whitney that she's going to take her house and basically open up a Taco Bell. I'm like, what is going on here? Next thing you know, Lisa continues and she's like, you'll never be me. You'll never be Lisa Barlow. Whitney was just like, I don't want to be Lisa. I'm okay with being, what's my name again? I'm okay with being Whitney Rose. I'm okay with being that. Next thing you know, Lisa, she gets up and she pulls a Lisa Rinna and she lunges at her and she tries to grab her Kim Zolciak wig. And she's like, you'll never be fucking me. So she tries to, grab her wig or whatever. And then here goes Whitney. I've said it before that Whitney, she's willing to get her ass beat on this show as long as it makes good TV, because she didn't even pull a Kim Richards. You know how Kim Richards, when, Lisa Rinna threw that drink, Kim was just like, No, she didn't have the same reflexes. Lisa lunged at her, and Whitney, when you play Mortal Kombat or like any type of fighting game, when you're picking your character, like the characters are just, standing there until you pick them. That was Whitney. Whitney was just like, so luckily Lisa couldn't reach her, but Whitney is much better than me, because the second that I see you lunging at me, I'm gonna grab Lisa. I'm gonna grab her so hard to the point where my voice changes. I would have been like, oh, Lisa, you wanna fight? Come over here. Come over here, bitch. But wait, there's more, because then chaotic Britney, she just decided to add her 2 little cents that she barely has in this conversation. She said something, and then Mary was quick to shut her down. Mary was just like, no. She was just like, wait a minute, no, because you think that we all forgot what you were doing just a second ago, by recording everybody and, coming up with all these 1,000 excuses of what she wasn't doing, but we all saw that she really was recording them. Britney is just a mess, right? But Mary was just like, you think that we all forgot just because everybody else has been drinking? No, I haven't forgotten. You're still a terrible person. So then Britney was just like, okay, you're a terrible person too. You do the same thing. I must have missed that episode, or maybe the directors, the producers, or whatever, they cut that scene out because Mary is many things, but she's never recorded or done anything sneaky behind anybody's back. So, Brittany, you should have just sat there and ate your food. Like, now you're about to get chewed up because I believe they all started coming at her. She tells Meredith, you have been saying really vile things about me and Jared. I just don't appreciate that. Meredith was just like, well, you are a vile person. That is my personal feeling towards you. I'm entitled to feel that way, right? So then Brittany, like every confrontation, everybody comes at her and then she can't take it. So then she gets up and she starts crying and she runs away. I'm like, Brittany, first they give you clown music, they expose you last week, and now this, you're getting chewed up again for a second time. So as she's running away, Heather's like, wait, no, you do have friends here. And I'm like, friends with who, you? I don't want to be your friend, Heather. Like, I'd rather just cry alone and by the beach. So then Angie KLMNOP, who looks like an insect with this wig on and these glasses, these big ass binoculars, she's like, wait a minute, Brittany, hold on, Brittany, don't run. I'm coming after you. Give me 1 second. I'm your friend too, and I care about you. So then she runs after her. Mary doesn't like this because Angie K is her new bestie. So Mary was just like, Angie, why are you going after her? Why are you going after somebody who was just talking about me, who doesn't like me? I don't like that, and I kind of get it, like the loyalty, like I understand it because if I was in Mary's shoes and my bestie does that, we're going to have a problem. So I get it. But I don't know. It's just a very sticky situation. What does everybody else think? Like, so after the Lisa luncheon, half the group goes to make ceviche, the other half goes horseback riding. Yeah. Let's get to this dinner, right? So Lisa Barlow, she set up this whole dinner in motion. They show up, they sit down, they order food, they all look nice. So then Angie K, she breaks the silence and she tells Mary, Mary, would you want some of my pepperoni? Mary, I said, would you want some of my pepperoni? Mary, why are you not speaking to me? What's going on here? So Mary finally comes out with it and she's like, look, I'm really big on loyalty and friendship and I just feel like you betrayed my trust, aka by her running off to go see chaotic Britney earlier and checking up on her. She felt betrayed, like, you're supposed to be my friend and your loyalty lies with me, not Britney, somebody who I consider an enemy. Like I said, I kind of get it, but it's just like, Mary, stop it. I like their friendship together. Angie KLMNOP, she's confused by this and she's like, wait a minute, Mary, I am your friend. I thought you said that God, put us as friends for a reason. Mary, she low blows her and she's like, well, you know what? I thought so too, but I guess I was wrong. And I'm like, no, Mary, stop. I get it, but at the same time, I don't think that Angie was trying to be malicious. She was just checking up on Britney, I guess. Somebody has to do it. Because nobody else is. Not the production team, not Andy, not anybody on this cast. Nobody's checking on Britney, so somebody has to do it, right? And Mary was just like, you know what, Angie? No, I thought we were friends, but no, we're not friends. And I could be wrong. And, I did love you, but I guess I was wrong. And Angie, she starts getting emotional. She starts crying. And honestly, it was the music that they played in the background that really got to me because I was really getting emotional with this scene. I'm like, I haven't seen such a real genuine friendship like this on the Real Housewives in a long time. Like, I really do think that they do love each other as friends. They're giving exactly what Mia and Jacqueline think that they're giving over there in Potomac. I'm not really sure what kind of circus Mia thinks that she's running over there, but it's not this, right? Like, this is genuine. Over there, and then they're kissing each other and just, Jacqueline, but that's a whole different story, right? So then Angie K, she gets emotional. She's like, Mary, I don't understand. I love you a lot. Like, you changed my life. And I'm like, wow, I wonder if she says the same thing to Sean, right? But okay. She's like, you changed my life and I view you differently. And Mary, she was just like, well, nobody told you to do that. And I was like, Mary, stop it, Mary. So Mary, stop. Stop, Mary. I'm like, damn, that is cold. Like, I get her hurt, though. Like, I get it. I get both sides. Angie K continues confessing her love. She's like, I love you, and you have changed me as a person, and I just want to ask, would you marry me? Or at least that's what I was waiting for. I'm like, wow, such a beautiful friendship, right? Eventually, as soon as she said that to Mary, Mary started cracking a little bit like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I should be a little nice to her. I guess I'll take back what I said. So Mary, she starts getting emotional too. She gets teary-eyed. She starts smiling back at Angie K. And I'm like, Mary, it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable with Angie K. I get it. But then we find out the real reason why she's holding this mini grudge to Angie. And she's like, look, both my parents abandoned me, and I do have abandonment issues, and I just feel like my dad ran off on me, my mom ran off on me, and I just feel like you're also gonna do the same thing with Britney. I mean, you obviously ran off to her, and as soon as she said that, it hit close to home with me because I'm the same way. Me and my biological father, we have had no relationship in who knows how many years. I haven't seen or heard of him in forever. I reached out to him a couple of months ago and nothing, and because of that, now when I meet people and I try to make friends, I'm always like, okay, I like this person. They like me, we have a good vibe together. But then in the back of my mind, it's always that fear of, this is only temporary until you walk out of my life, like how my biological father did. And I start justifying that paranoia by making up scenarios in my head like, I don't really like how this person did this or what this person said about this. You know what? Let me back away from them and let me walk out of their life first before they get a chance to hurt me in the end. And it's something I'm still working on in therapy. So I completely understand how Mary felt hurt in the situation and why loyalty means so much to her. I'm glad that Angie K was open to it and they understood each other, and now they're back to being besties. So I was glad about that. And this was such a beautiful moment until it wasn't. So Heather tells Mary and Angie that she's proud of how they handled their issue. Then she tells everybody else, does anybody else have an issue here that they want to clear up now that we're together? And I'm like, ooh, Heather, you sneaky producer, you. I see what you're doing and I like it. Meredith, she tells Whitney, Whitney, I just want to know about these, rumors that you made up about the Alibaba situation with my jewelry. I want to know who told you that. And I'm like, oh, we're still on that, Meredith? But okay, Whitney, she's like, well, yeah, I contacted a blogger, and the blogger told me that Lisa was actually contacting them and telling them information about the Alibaba. So that's why, Meredith. Lisa, as soon as she mentioned her name, she was just like, first of all, Whitney, don't you ever talk about me ever again. I will take you in your house. She's like, I have never contacted a blogger. I don't do that. I'm too rich for all of that. I don't do stuff like that. What are you talking about? No, can I get a Kit Kat, please? And can you give me a Diet Coke from 7-Eleven? Thank you. Yeah, and a large taco from Taco Bell. Thank you, baby gorgeous. I have never done that, Whitney. Don't make me take your house. So Whitney was just like, I don't know what you're talking about, Lisa. Both of you keep coming back and forth at me. I have a reliable source. And I'm like, a reliable source? Who is this reliable source, right? Heather was just like, what are you talking about, Whitney? What are you talking about? Whitney was just like, well, you have messaged Reality Von Tees, Lisa. And I'm like, not to mention of the infamous Reality Von Tees Instagram page. If you know, right? I'm like, here we go. This is season 4, part 2, right? Lisa was just like, first of all, what are you talking about, Reality Von Tees? I have never mentioned anything about Reality Von Tees. You better be very careful what you're talking about, Whitney. Tell me your sources. Whitney was just like, look, I have a very reliable source, and you two keep cornering me to a wall. So, I have no choice but to say it. Heather was just like, who is your source? What are you talking about? And Whitney, she finally comes out with it, and she's like, me. Producers, make sure that you have the mic over me because this is going to be so iconic. You're going to want to put this in the preview to the finale. Well, my sources, I talked to Monica. And I'm like, Monica? Ooh. Heather's fist underneath the table was just like this. Like, what do you mean, Monica? This is my show. I thought I ran her off. Why is she still being mentioned? Heather, she rolled her eyes. She wanted to jump across the table and just slap Whitney. Like, what do you mean you're contacting Monica? That's my biggest enemy. She was supposed to be the star of season 5, but luckily I got her kicked off. What are you talking about? So then they're all shocked. Meredith is just like, oh, well, of course. So now she's talking to Monica. Lisa, she's shocked. Whitney was just like, yeah, she told me, a lot of information about both of you and that you were talking to the blogger, Lisa, that it was you. So she's pointing her finger at Lisa. Lisa doesn't like it. Lisa was just like, get your finger out of my face. Stop pointing at me. And she slaps her finger at her face. That right there, again, Lisa wants to get physical. At this, just move the table and let them go at it. Whitney, she was petty because as soon as she slapped her finger, she was like, okay, you don't like one finger? Let me get another one. She starts pointing at her like this. I'm like, ooh, Whitney. Like, this is crazy. Like, both of them truly hate each other. And I'm like, wow, Monica, the queen that you are. Here goes Heather with her monologues in her confessional. I thought we distanced ourselves from the issue last year, but clearly the issue is still here. But it doesn't seem like you tried to distance yourself from the issue being Monica, because you kept trying to milk the whole receipts, timeline, proof quote that you told Monica last season at the finale. You've been trying to milk that for the entire year in 2024, but yet you try to distance yourself from it, right? Then Heather goes on to this whole, monologue again, part 2, that I think it went on for like 30 minutes. It took up like half the episode. She tells everybody, enough, enough with the receipts and the timeline. I'm like, please don't say it again. She almost did, but she stopped herself. She was like, enough with these timelines and these proof and these receipts. I'm sick of it. And just because Beyonce didn't announce her announcement a couple of days ago does not mean that we should call each other names. And, some of us have been called terrible women, mothers and, ugly. And I'm like, no. No, Heather, you were the only one called ugly. Everybody else, they're all bad bitches, so can't relate. I would have stopped her right then and there, like, Heather, wait a minute, no, nobody called me ugly. That's a you problem. Don't put your insecurity on me, sweetie. So then Heather continues, it does not matter. It's okay. It's fine. Just because Kyle Richards keeps, crying and running away from situations, and Dorit is desperate for her diamond this season, does not mean that we have to treat each other like this, like women. Like, what is going on with Mia and Jacqueline? Like, what is happening over there? Like, is Mia really with Gordon? Is she with Ink? What about Kiarna? What is she doing on this show? Like, I'm just sick of it. I feel like at this point, we should all just pull out our phones and go through our messages and say out loud the meanest things that we said about each other. And I'm like, woo, Heather, wait a minute. What was in that drink? What was in that drink that has her feeling so bold? Like, that is a very dangerous game. And the second that she said that, I would have pulled out my phone so quickly and just started typing a bunch of shit like, Lisa, I can't stand that bitch. Heather, nobody's reading your book. Whitney, nobody's buying your jewelry. Let's see, what else? I'm just going to start making up things for good TV, right? And I also cheated on my husband with everybody else's husband on this cast. I would have just said a bunch of lies just for good TV. I may have gotten jumped in the end and probably, a couple of teeth knocked out and a black eye. It would have been worth it, though. Mary, she's the first one to volunteer, and here we go. Mary's just like, well, I found my message and, here you go, Heather. Heather, she grabs her phone, she starts reading it, she starts crying right away. And I'm like, ooh, Mary hurt her feelings. Good. She starts reading it out loud. Heather, you inbred looking women, you really have changed and the popularity has really gotten to your head. Your success has gotten to your head. You're no longer the person I used to know. You made me feel like I wasn't a part of this group and I just don't like you anymore. And you'll never be Jen Shaw. And if she comes back for season 7 after she gets out of jail, you'll be nothing and you won't have this backbone that you do. Okay, we don't need to read all of that. But I have said it before. I said the same thing that Mary has said about Heather. Heather did change. I believe she changed around season 3. But last season, she definitely changed for even worse. I feel like she let the show get to her head. The same thing as Whitney. But Whitney, at least she's kind of like still a little grounded. But Heather's a whole different person. Remember how she was season 1, season 2? She was so likable. And now she's just the least likable on the show. Mary tells her that this is the Heather that she likes talking to. So they decide to piece everything out and everything is good. So then Britney, she volunteers to go next. And I'm like, ooh, this is about to be good, right? Oh, so I thought. She's like, oh, I want to go. My message is towards Mary. And I'm like, ooh, this is about to be good, right? Oh, so I thought. So she gives her phone over to Mary. Mary starts reading it. She's like, I was going to invite Mary over for some hot coffee and tea, but I decided not to anymore. And instead, I'm going to invite Bronwyn. Chaotic Britney, you have been giving us good chaotic TV from episode 1 all the way up to now. And then the one time that you should bring it and you should bring something to the table, no pun intended, you don't bring anything. Like, this is really like what you got. And then on top of that, you're doing Mary a favor. And the confessional, Mary's just like, good. She should invite Bronwyn. I'm not going. So they're all looking at her and they're like, this is really the meanest thing that you have said about anybody at this table. Somehow I don't believe that. Like, after everything that they said about you, you mean to tell me that you never said anything about anybody else? Then Angie K, whoo! Angie K volunteers next and she's like, I want to go next, and my message, I sent it to Heather about Bronwyn. And I'm like, oh, Bronwyn, okay, I didn't know they had an issue. And then she gives her phone over to Bronwyn, and she's like, Bronwyn, I just want to say, that I was just speaking on emotion. And I'm like, uh-oh. We all know what it's like to speak on emotion, and that once you say it, there's no coming back from this. And then Bronwyn, she was just like, oh, no, it's fine. You don't have to justify it. And I'm like, no, Bronwyn, no, I think that you should let her justify it because you're not ready for what you're about to read. So then she's like, no, it's fine. It's okay. Like, I can take it. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure, Bronwyn? Because those tacky outfits are not going to save you, or that creepy looking house that you have. But here we go. Is everybody ready? Buckle up because this is going to be a crazy ride. So she looks at the phone and she starts crying right away. And I'm like, Angie, what did you say about Bronwyn? Like, she's new on the show. Take it easy on her. Bronwyn starts and she's like, I really like Bronwyn's business plan of marrying somebody who's they have one foot in the grave and one foot on a banana peel. I could not believe the first line. I'm like, okay, that's as far as it goes, right? Because that's pretty ruthless. Like, saying that her husband is halfway in a grave and then halfway slipping on a banana. What does that mean? That he's about to slip into the graveyard? Is that what he means? Like, that he's just about to, like, just pass out any second? Like, that is crazy, Angie K. But no, there's more. She continues. She's crying. She's crying reading this. It's not funny, but kind of funny. She's like, she seems like a good person, a nice person. She just does not listen. Probably because her ears are so attached to her neck. I'm assuming that's a facelift joke or whatever. I didn't know Bronwyn had a facelift. But I'm like, wow, that her ears are attached to her neck. That is crazy. And I'm like, okay, that's as far as it goes, right? No, there's more. And I'm like, Bronwyn continues. And it's funny that she has to wear these hot dog costumes to remind us that she had to suck her way to the top. Like, when I tell you all, when I first heard this, when I first watched this scene, I just could not believe what I have heard. I have not heard something as crazy like that on The Real Housewives in a long time. I'm like, what do you mean? Her tacky hot dog costume that she wore like the second, third episode, that she wore that to remind us that she had to suck her way to the top. I thought she had her own money. I thought she didn't have to do such unnecessary things like that, But I mean, if she did, okay, fine. At least she got money now. But damn. And I am telling you, Bronwyn is a much better person than I am, because the second that I would have read that line, I would have smashed her iPhone on the floor, and it would have took like 10 security guards, the producers, Andy Cohen, Meredith, and Heather, and a couple of cameramen to get my hands off of Angie K. I would have been like, she has to remind us, with her hot dog outfits that she had to suck her way, and then just jumped over. And I'm like, what did Bronwyn do to Angie K? I must have missed that episode too. I watched the whole entire season, but I didn't know that they had an issue like that for Angie K to come at her like that. Like, very unprovoked, very unnecessary. I was just in shock. And Bronwyn is just crying, and Bronwyn is just like, that's fine. No, we could be cool after that. Like, I'm so sorry. After something like that, like, there's no going back from that. I would never be friends with somebody like that. Like, you say that I had to suck my way to the top, and maybe I did. And what about it? What about it? Like, why are you calling me out? Like, so what? I'm at the top now. We're all at the same table, right? Like, but that is crazy. I would, the entire table would have flipped upside down. I would have pulled a Teresa Giudice. Drinks would have been thrown in every single direction. I'm sorry, if I was Bronwyn, I'm finding a way to sleep with her husband. Like, that's the only way we could be even. Like, I have to have an affair with your husband behind your back in order for us to be even. Like, there's just no way that you were saying that. And then on top of that, you're talking about Todd. I don't even like the man, but damn, to say that he's halfway in the grave and then his other foot is slipping on a banana. So then it's Heather's turn, and her message is about Whitney. Whitney grabs the phone, and just like Bronwyn, she starts crying right away. She's like, Whitney is a low-life, thirsty piece of shit. I'm I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, what happened to hello? What happened to customer service? Like, I get it that we're reading these messages, but damn, you could have eased it into me. Like, damn, at least Angie K, at least she started talking about Todd and, his foot being in the grave. But damn, right away, I'm a piece of shit. A thirsty piece of shit at that, too. Like, wow, I'm sorry. I could not do something like this because the second that I would have read that, I would have lunged at Heather. I don't care if you're my cousin or not. Like, absolutely. At this point, they need to stop with these text messages and just really just square off in a wrestling ring, because that's what these women really want. Like, they just want to put their hands on each other. Like, that is crazy. But wait, there's more. Whitney continues. Not only is she a piece of shit, but she sold her soul for fame and recognition. But I mean, Heather, you did too. So like, that's kind of like the Spider-Man meme. Like, both of you are pointing at each other. Like. And I can't believe I was so stupid and foolish. I was stupid, I was foolish, I was lying to myself. Shout out to Mariah Carey. That she was so dumb and foolish to, endorse her products that she doesn't even sell. See, now that last one was personal, Heather. Like, all of that, maybe we could get over it. But that last one, you could have kept it to yourself. Whitney's just crying and she's like, wow, I can't believe that. Angie K tries to, stick up for her. She's like, she didn't mean it. Yeah, she did. She did mean what she said. Heather, I mean. And Heather's just like, I was just upset and I was just angry and, it's fine. And then they hold hands and I'm sorry, the second that she holds her hands, I'm pulling that bitch across the table like, what do you mean I'm a Like, there is no, oh yeah, let's hold hands and, do our little hand. No, none of that. No, absolutely not. So then it's Whitney's turn and her message is about Lisa. Surprise, surprise. She gives Lisa a warning by telling her, hey, this is just a rumor that I heard. I just want to clear this up between me and you. That told me everything I needed to know that Whitney was about to come at Lisa with some bullshit. So she hands over the phone. Lisa surprisingly reads the entire message out loud, which I'm shocked that she did because I thought that she would stop as soon as she saw that things were going left, right? So she starts off and she's like, me and Justin, we were at a party together and some woman came, I love Justin, by the way. He's such a nice guy. Some woman came up to us saying, hey, if you ever need a third, I'm your girl. Oh, that sounds kinky. That sounds kinky, Whitney. And Lisa Barlow could vouch for me because I've made out with her while jerking John off. Like Whitney, what the hell is your problem? Like, I don't think that, I think that this was part of the game, but I think that Whitney took it too far. First of all, Angie K took it way too far. But Whitney, what is this? You didn't want to just put this out there like, oh, I want to clear things up. No, you wanted to really take it there with Lisa. You wanted this rumor out there. You were looking for a reason just to have this out there, and now it's out there. Like, that is crazy. And then I hope that your phone had a good screen protector and a good case, because the way Lisa slammed that iPhone 13, she was like, what the hell is this? And then boom, she slammed it on the table. Lisa, you would have got slapped for that because that's still my phone unless you're going to buy me a new one. So I could understand why Lisa was upset. Like, what? First of all, let's pull it back a second and let's dissect this. The woman who offered her services to Justin and Whitney, don't you have any shame? Like what? You just want to pass yourself around in the Salt Lake City Housewives universe? Like, what is going on here? It's not the fact that you want to have a threesome or that you're open to that or whatever. No, it's not about that. We're all here for that. It's the fact that you're willing to mess around with Justin? That's what I'm really judging you on, but I guess. Oof. Another woman who doesn't love her stuff, like, just offering her services at a party, like, and just the... But Lisa, she got pissed off. Everybody is shocked. Whitney's trying to play this whole innocent thing, like, what are you talking about, Lisa? I was just trying to clear things up. I'm not saying that that's true. I don't believe it. I'm like, Whitney, please save it. You were trying to hurt Lisa. And Lisa is Lisa, but damn. You could have said something else about her, like her looks, like how she said, and Lisa starts going off. And then for some reason, she directs this at Angie K. Angie K is trying to defend Lisa, like, no, that's not true. That's not true. None of that is true. And do I believe that? Salt Lake City is known for, having things like this, but I don't know. Lisa gets furious. She is upset. She's like, first of all, Whitney, no, you've been trying to come at my marriage. I can't believe this. I would never say such rumors like this about anybody. Whitney's trying to, quiet her up. Meredith jumps in and she's like, I can't believe this. This is enough. This is disgusting. I can't believe we're talking about each other like this. And I'm like, Meredith, you should have said something when Bronwyn was reading Angie K's message. I think that that's worse. Or maybe they're like on the same playing field. But like at this point, they're all just being, very low with each other. Like, what are we doing? How do we even come back from this? Like, Whitney clearly hates Lisa. I don't see Lisa ever forgiving her for this. Like, you're talking about her marriage. Like, that's insane to me. But Lisa has done worse. So I don't know. This whole cast is just chaotic. Next thing you know, Lisa, she throws out an accusation towards suspicious Sean. Angie K, Elemental P's husband. Angie K, what about you? I heard about Sean that he sits around in circle jerks. I'm like, wait a minute. What did Angie... First of all, we'll get back to that specific thing in a second, but what did Angie K do to you? She was trying to defend you, and now you're taking a low blow at her and her marriage that was already suspicious. And, second of all, Sean... Hey, I don't believe Lisa with these circle jerk accusations or whatever, allegations about you supposedly doing that, but let's just say hypothetically, if it was true, I'm just saying, asking for a friend, I'm just curious, for YouTube purposes, I just want to, whatever, if you were, where exactly would you do that at? Like, or is there a specific club, specific place? Like, do you have to get like tickets or something, or contact somebody for? I'm just asking, like, for research purposes. I'm just asking, but I'm just curious if it was true. I don't believe it, but just saying. But that was crazy, Lisa. That was very low of you. And then now she's trying to avoid Whitney. She's putting this bouquet of flowers in front of her face. Whitney starts plucking at them. I'm like, Whitney, if you don't just hit her across the head. And then Angie K, she gets bold, so she gets up and she grabs this bouquet of flower and she throws it at Lisa. She did the same thing with Monica last season at the finale. She grabbed that big ass bouquet of flowers that she was gonna throw, and I'm like, Angie K, I really want to see you throw hands with somebody to see if you're really about that, but. Then the producer, she had to step in like the security guard. She grabbed Angie K, like, Angie K, calm your ass down or else you're not going to be back next season. Come over here. So Angie's like, no, get off me. Get off me. No, let me go. Let me go. What the fuck was that about? Why are you bringing me and Sean into this? And, they're trying to pull her away. Lisa's over there. Whitney's plucking at flowers. Meredith is going out of control. Heather is Heather. And Bronwyn is sitting there. She's still trying to recover from Angie K's message. Mary is just like, wow, I can't believe this. Like, Lisa, that was very, very mean. You didn't have to say any of that. So, now Angie K is being, pushed away by the security guard, by the producer. They're just pulling her away as if she's really going to do something. Like, please, Angie. But then again, isn't she in the Greek mafia? So maybe she doesn't have to do anything. Maybe she just has to do a quick phone call and oops. But then she's being pulled away. That's that. And, Lisa's going off and she's crying. I don't know. I feel like Lisa's outburst was justified a little bit because I know Lisa has said some crazy things, but this was so unprovoked. The message to Bronwyn was very unprovoked. The Whitney's message to Lisa, that was very unprovoked. Like, Whitney, you can't tell me that you wanted to like make amends with her after saying something like that. Like, you knew that was going to get underneath her skin. So she knows what she's doing. I mean, she's related to Heather, the other producer. So, and then Whitney's telling Lisa, shut the fuck up and listen to me. Listen to my feelings. Just shut up already. So Lisa's like, you know what? I'm not doing this right now. No, I can't. Take the mic off me. I can't believe this. No, I'm leaving. So she gets up. She storms off. We start seeing the end credits, like Angie K. I forgot something about her salon. She's still with her suspicious husband. He's still acting suspicious. He's still wearing his hats. That was that. We never see Angie K ever again. The security guard, the producers, they just take her away. Lisa, she takes off her mic. She storms off. And this was her dinner, right? She storms off. She's upset. She's crying. Meredith is just like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. And then she walks away also. She's also storming off. And we never got to see her and Lisa's messages towards anybody. But I believe one of the producers or whatever, they had tweeted that the extended cut was on Peacock. And from what I read, I don't think it was really nothing crazy. I think Meredith's... Anyways, it was nothing. Obviously, it didn't make the cut. So Meredith, she storms off. Lisa storms off. Angie K, she's being pulled away. Mary went to go join her. So now Bronwyn, she also gets up. She puts on her tacky coat and she's like, yeah, I guess the night is done. And Heather, we're left with another monologue by her. She's like, what happened tonight? it was crazy, and it just goes to show that sometimes there's more to friendships and, clearly there is more to us that is left unfinished. And I'm like, okay, Heather. I just wish the producer would just tell her, like, just shut the fuck up. But I do like her little monologues though. So, but that was that. The table was left a mess because Angie K, the flowers, Lisa, this is a whole disaster. Like, and nothing was gonna come out about this that was gonna be good. Like, I don't know what Heather expected, but yeah, I mean, that's how the finale ended. And now we have a 3-part reunion. That also looks crazy. The husbands are coming out. I believe that this is the first time the husbands come out, maybe second, but but this was a really, really good finale. Was it better than the season 4 finale? I don't think so, but it was also just as good. And another finale where they ended on a cast trip and it's kind of left at a to be continued. I feel like we should have had at least like 2 more episodes just to see what was the outcome of all of this, because this was a lot. This was a lot. I'm not really sure where they go from this, but I want them all back. All of them, including Chaotic Britney. I want them all back because, I mean, this entire season, every single episode was really, really good. The finale was really good. I'm assuming that the reunion, all 3 parts, are going to be amazing as well. So, and they're bringing up the allegations on Zeph, Meredith's husband, that supposedly he's cheating. And now we said it, right? But I'm going to go take a nap and drink some water because this is a lot. But let me know what you all thought about this entire season, this entire finale. Did you like the finale? Would you be a part of these text messages? Who do you think had the worst message? Whitney or Angie K? Again, Angie K, that was really, really mean. That was very uncalled for and unnecessary. But, Bronwyn, I hope she does something. She said something to her at the reunion, but we shall see. Let me know what you all thought about this whole entire season, this entire finale down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.